So yes, we are live. Pitch Grounders, how's everything going? My name is Vinank. I'm wearing the Pitch Ground t-shirt. If you haven't got the Pitch Ground t-shirt, let me know. I'll ship one of you guys a cool Pitch Ground t-shirt that you can wear. So how's everything going, guys? Today we are back. It's Monday, and definitely not Monday blues. Let's beat them because today we are live with Steven from One Word Domains. So One Word Domains is a SaaS we launched yesterday night, and the response has been great from you guys. You've been asking a lot of questions. So let's discuss about One Word Domains in the launch webinar today. So let's give a 30-second banner so that everyone comes in. So awesome. So that's 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are back live with One Word Domains. So, guys, where are you joining in from? I'm joining in from India. Steven is joining in from the US, San Francisco. That I think that's where the hub of all startup companies exists. Silicon Valley is so close. And
Yep.
where are you joining in from, guys? Leave a comment down below. So today we are launching. We are already launched officially One Word Domains last night, but today we are live with the founder, that is Steven, and he's going to tell us everything about One Word Domains, about domain names, and how he got into developing a SaaS application. So Steven, how's everything going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me here.
Pleasure to have you here, Stephen. So, Stephen, before we get into this one-word domains, can you tell us like how's the COVID situation out there in the US? You guys just ended the elections over there. I'm sure
Yep.
it's all the whole world is eyeing the
I
US.
know things are pretty crazy here. Like, I mean, it's relatively. It's not like we're not in a lockdown at the moment, so restaurants are still open, people are still going out, but it's people are really happy because of the election results, and I've heard people celebrating on the streets. There were parades here and there. Thankfully, all was peaceful, so no violence yet. I haven't heard of anything, but also maybe because San Francisco is a fairly liberal city state, so that's probably why. So yeah, that's basically how everything is here right now.
Awesome, awesome. So yes, things are definitely cooling down. The vaccine is set to come out soon. Many companies are claiming that. So hoping things get positive really soon and
Yep.
we get back to business. So Stephen, can you tell us about like how did when did you actually start this one word domains?
So I started this back in May of this year. It was the beginning of my summer, and I was thinking of starting a different side project, but I just couldn't come up with a good name for it. And I'm somewhat of a perfectionist when it comes to naming startups. I need to get the name right to in order to get the brand right. So I decided to, I thought to myself, why hasn't anyone picked out the top, I don't know, 10,000 most commonly used English words and just pair them up with a bunch of different TLDs like .ai, .co, the ones that are more common in the text space, .io, for instance, and just run it using a Python script to find the ones that are available and just refer to that and see whichever name inspires you the most. And this is a different approach than, like a domain name generator per se, because with domain name generators, you have to key in like an input. So you got to know what exactly you want. So like maybe you could put in data and then they would like pair in with names at the back and the beginning. So like data robot, good data, stuff like that. So that wasn't, I tried a lot of those, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. So I decided to build this tool. And once I launched it, it actually did really well. I had a really good reception on Product Hunt and Hacker News. Those are like the top platforms for tech products. And everything is history. The rest is history. It just took off, and I've been building onto the momentum since then, and getting more users, getting user feedback, adding more features to the site, and yeah, here we are today.
Awesome, awesome. So how did you like decide to launch in a lifetime deal? Like how did you find Fishgun?
It's a really funny story. So the I think CEO of PitchGround, Oscar, he was
Oscar.
one of the early adopters of One Word Domains. He purchased a plan when I first launched it, and we didn't really talk much in the beginning. I did send him like a thank you email and that stuff, and just things just sort of cool down. And then a few months later, I he reached out to me regarding the lifetime deal on PitchGround. He told me what PitchGround is doing. I actually knew about Patreon a little bit from before because whenever someone buys a plan, I usually go stalk them a little bit, just look at what they're building. And I found out about PitchGround and I sort of saw the similarities because I knew about AppSumo before. So I was asking Oscar to sort of break down what a difference is. And apparently you guys are growing really, really fast and it's the fastest in the market, which is really amazing. I actually applied for AppSumo. I got in, but I decided not to go with them. I decided to go with Fishcore instead because of the way you guys interact with vendors and with customers, and I think that's the right way to go. So yeah, that's how I found out about PitchCon. Long story, taking a lot of detours, and yeah,
True, true. And when it comes to domain names, I just got uh, I just got I went back. It was in 2019 around the same time. I was planning to open my own blog, and I hope people can hear me right now because one person is saying that my sound is not loud enough. Guys, if my sound is loud enough, just let me know if it's clear. Good evening, Venkatesh. How are you doing? So yeah. So it was in September at that time, and what happened was I was planning to open my own blog. I was like, okay, the domain name we are usually advised that .com is good for SEO, and since you're opening a marketing related blog, you should definitely choose .com, and it's good for SEO. So that okay, I started searching .com. I spent 1 hour. I spent 2 hours, and when I noticed, I spent like 7 hours trying namecheck.com,
yeah,
exploring some domain names for premium, but they didn't have,
mm,
uh, you know, they were like heavily priced. Some are like in an auction.
yeah,
Then after 8 hours, I'm like, oh my god, this is I didn't do any work that day. I hope Udit is
yeah,
not watching this live. So yeah, I didn't do any work that day, and I was so frustrated. The next day
yeah.
again, for another 2 hours, I'm like, I'm not opening my blog. That's it.
Oh man, I definitely resonate with that. I'm the kind of person who would spend like an entire day just going through different variations of the name, trying to find the perfect one. Turns out .com is not like it's not a factor when it comes to SEO. Content of your blog and whatever you're putting out is more. I think Google recently announced this the switch towards accepting more alternative TLDs, as they say, and you can see a lot of these big companies like Notion. They started out with a .so domain, and they recently bought the .com just for like more of like a status and uh, not allowing people to go to the wrong website, but it doesn't really matter for SEO. So it's sort of a misconception or a myth we're trying to bust here. So, and I definitely understand how frustrating it is. That's why I created this site to allow people to go through a list and just get inspired instead of trying to build your own name.
And yes, I realized that .com is not just good for SEO. Then we realized it, and there's so many TLDs to grab from, guys. You can just go to oneworddomains.com and check it. It's like there's so many .asia if you're in Asia, or .io, .app, and it could be anything for your next business, for your next product. There's a
Yeah.
domain name that's waiting to be grabbed, but it's somewhere out there hidden in a bunch of, I'd like to imagine as in, let's say there are like 1,000 balls here. We are like picking one and like, oh, this is the bad domain name. Let's drop it
Yeah.
out. And one more domains actually makes the ball shine from those 1,000 balls over there, and it's like, yeah, that's my domain name. I can come and
Exactly.
yes.
That's a really good analogy because on the site I recently added this feature where it allows you to sort the domains by the percentage of registered TLD. So essentially what that means is given a word like sunlight, it will look at how many other TLDs that word is registered in, and the higher the percentage is, I guess it's the more well-known, the more in demand the word is. So with that, you can sort of sift through the pile and find the ones that are more brandable. And there's definitely distinctions between different TLDs, like .so, alternative TLDs here. So like .so, .io, .co, those are the ones that are more common. .ai with startups. There's also up and coming ones like .is. .vc is very, very popular for VC firms. Recently, there has been like a boom in demand for .vcs among domain investors. And so yeah, there's a breakdown on that. If you want to check it out, you can refer to the site. Each of those TLD pages, I do provide a list of companies or startups that use these names, so you can click on them and see if what they're building sort of resonates with your own product. And if that's a very similar, and you see that they have a good reputation, you can choose that particular TLD. That's something that I've always wanted to know when I was building. When I was thinking of choosing a TLD. So yeah, I just add that to the site as a feature as well.
So I guess people are waiting to explore the features of one word domain. So why don't we just share the screen and show them the real power of what this tool can do?
Definitely. Let's do this. I hope I know how to share the screen.
So
One
there
second.
must be a share screen button below in the dashboard.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Sure. So until then, guys, all your questions would be answered. I see your questions. It's like how easy to sell one word domains at a good price, and we'll discuss all the questions. So until then, do you want to take this question? Like, how easy is it to sell one word domains at a good price?
So that's a great question. I think one-word domains when it comes to selling. So if you're looking at this from a investment standpoint, it really comes down to brandability as well as the TLD really matters. For selling domains, if it's a one-word .com, it really goes for a pretty good price. Other .coms, other TLDs, I think .ai does bring really good returns for one-word domains. .io as well. These two are the more prominent ones, and you can definitely see with those TLDs there are lesser available domains because people just buy it up and try and resell them or build them for their own products. So it depends on two things like TLD and the brandability of the word and the how well known the word is. You can try and if you want to gauge how valuable a domain is, what you can do is look at similar SIL. So for example, if there's a word like, I don't know, a blog, and you can check, how much the .com sold for, how much did a similar word like, I don't know, site sold for, and make comparisons with the domain that you own. So that's how domain investors sort of judge the valuation of a certain domain.
True,
Can you
true.
guys see the
And many
screen,
of
by the
my
way?
friends, yeah,
Okay.
okay. So many of my friends have been domain investors, and I've personally like made around $200. I bought the domain name
Mhm.
for a $10, and I made around
Nice.
$200, and it was a three-word domain. So guys, with one
Uh-huh.
word domain, you can actually make more. It's up to your
Oh,
imagination, your creativity, and the kind of domain you choose
yeah.
based on your own research. So Steven, we are sharing the screen right now.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to that real quick. I think you're right about three-word domains being able to sell for three figures. I think you shouldn't just limit yourself. Although I'm the site is called one-word domains, you definitely shouldn't limit yourself to just one-word domains because with .coms, it's really hard to get English word one-word .coms. So what you can do is if you can think up really creative and brandable two-word combinations, that's also a really good way to find a valuable domain. I'll go into that in detail later under the let me just show you real quick the .com section as well as the aftermarket. I can show you a little bit about a little bit about how everything works. So yeah, are
And
we
for
ready
those
to
of you who don't know, don't worry. Steven will also explain what aftermarket really is and
Yep,
how you can grab domains from the aftermarket.
definitely. All right, so let's start with the product tour. So this is the homepage. When you click into it, you'll see these three on top. You can, if you're interested, you can click on them, but they are basically featured domains. So it's people who are looking to sell the domains. they can choose to list it on the site. There are only 3 slots available, and they're fully booked for the next couple of months for now. So not really any opening there. But moving on to the first section on the homepage, it's the most popular domains. These are the ones that were clicked on the most times by people. I'm actually surprised some of them are still available. But yeah, so these are the ones that are still that are the ones that are most popular amongst our users. And then there's the staff pick section, which is the section where I would generally go through the list of domains that are available on the site and add them here as like the ones that are good to buy. And there's also the domains that you just missed. So to sort of create a FOMO where I would list the domains that are really brandable but were recently registered by users. So these are the ones that were recently registered. You can see elf.app, some really good names here. And then there's the recently viewed domains, which are the ones that were recently clicked on. And yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then there's the press section. And then here you can see there are a total of 10 domains that are freely available on our domains right now. So that's .ai, .app, .asia, .co, .com, .fyi, .io, .link, and .life, and .to. So these are, it started out with just .ai, .co, and .io, and .com, but I expanded a little bit more to allow people to find nice, like good domain names for themselves. If you click on any one of them, I can go try on FYI. It's not a very popular domain. That's why I wanted to sort of showcase it, because I think there can be some stuff that we can learn from it. So here, there are 13,000 available domains, and this comes from 50, I think it's 15 different categories. So you can see here there are positive terms, adjectives, and this top 4, the first 4 are pretty self-explanatory, but then the fourth one, collective nouns, is like, a gaggle of geese. Gaggle will be the collective noun. It's a English sort of term. Predicates, places, all these different terms. You can click into every one of them, explore. And right now, it's all being sorted based on the registered TLD percentage that I explained earlier. So as you can see, the top ones, premier, stable, these are the ones that are most registered in other TLDs. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Anyways, by the way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to just stop me, and I will be counting on you, Minang, to let me know if there are any pressing questions. Just cut me off; it's totally fine. So yeah,
So,
here you can.
so we'll answer
Yeah.
all the questions in the end, and you can
Okay.
go on, Steve.
Perfect. So here you can see there are a few different filters that you can use. You can filter by word length, so you can choose the ones that are specifically between 9 and 12 characters. And there's also the show premium feature. It's not relevant here right now because there are no premium domains. I'll show you the premium domains later, but right now it's not really relevant. So you can see, let's go to a different category, adjectives. So there are different names here. And if you want to look at the companies that use this .fyi domain, you can click on this button here. I try to make it less, I'm trying to make it a little more subtle because I don't want people to just click off my site and go on like a rabbit hole of looking at different startups. That's what I would do if I was a user. So yeah, you can click on this. And it shows some stats about FYI. It shows that there are 25,000 total registered domains. You can click on this. It actually brings you to the statistics website if you're interested in. But there are also 216 top FYI sites in the top 10 million sites and the average registration price. And these are some of the top companies using .foi. My favorite personally is Levels.foi. Is one of my friends is building it. They have around 500,000 monthly users, which is super cool. And they are essentially like a crowdsourced version of Glassdoor, where they would put in all these different salaries of what people are making. Sorry for digressing again, but basically this is how it works. You can hide it if you want. And so let me just show you real quick the premium feature, the shoes.app. Here we can see there are a lot of premium names. So if you don't want to, because premium names are like, they're affordable, but not really affordable. So it's like around thousands of dollars, depending on the TLD. So if you don't want to look at them, you can always click this and just filter everything out. And you'll see the ones that are just at registration price. For example, sharp.app. If you want that, you can just click on buy now. All these buttons do the same thing, but you can click on buy now, and you get redirected to the GoDaddy site where you can purchase the domain for a year. So moving on, we can see that here are a bunch of domains that are locked up. So it's basically behind a paywall. So essentially you have to purchase it, a plan to be able to access it. There are two different plans that are listed on PitchGround right now. There's the plan A, which is gives you access to 5 extra TLDs, and then plan B that gives you access to all of these different TLDs. And I think the second one is definitely more worth it, but you can be the judge of that yourself. So let me just move on now to the aftermarket section. So how this work is with aftermarkets, these are the domains that are people have bought it before and they're trying to sell it right now. And these are the domains. I'm currently taking domains just from GoDaddy. So GoDaddy auctions is pretty big. They have, as you can see, a lot of domains here. And all these different categories, they touch on different topics. Like the first two, obviously, is auctions that are ending. And then there are the ones that says close out listing, bin. This means buy it now domains that have fixed price on them. And if you can meet that fixed price, you can purchase the domains. And then there's also recent listings, all of the bid up domains, and all of the expiring domains. The last one is for .to domains, and this comes from the .to registry. And these are all also on auction. So here, what you can do, let me go back here real quick to auctions ending today. If you want to view, so here, the domains that are shown here are either one-word domains or two-word.com domains. So what you can do here, you can click on one word only, click that filter off, and you'll see all these different two-word domains that are being bidded right now. It's sorted by letters. So what we can do to find the ones that are more valuable is to sort by bits. So we know these are the ones that are highly in high demand because they are bidded on the most number of times. So what you can do is click on it, and you get redirected to, once again, the auction site for GoDaddy, and you see what's the current price. You can add on to the bid if you want, so on and so forth. There's also the word length filter and filter by TLD if you decide to go that route as well. Moving on, we can see, go to the pricing. I think this is the pricing that are currently on the site. It's different from the one on PageGround because the one on PageGround is a lifetime deal. This is the subscription plan that we currently have. So I think I don't need to go too deep into this because it's sort of explained on the PageGround site. So let me just show you what happens when I log into, this is my account right now. When I log in, what I'll get is, so these are all unlocked, as you can see. I can see, look at .tv domains, and I can turn off premium, etc. But what's really cool about an account is you can also save the domains that you like. So for example, if I save these 5 domains and I click on here, I can see that the domains are already saved. Oops, sorry, they're at the bottom because they're arranged, I think, alphabetically. And I already saved some domains from before, so just ignore those. So these are domains that are saved. I can copy all of them in one click, and then I can paste it in a different, like a Google Sheet. Let me just click on a new sheet. By the way, there's this really cool shortcut if you guys didn't know. It's called sheet.new. If you do that, it gives you a new spreadsheet. I just learned about that recently. There's this .new TLD.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So
cool.
that's new TLD where Google is specific about this. You cannot just buy it. It's when you have to like
Exactly.
have an action to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It's like $2,000 to buy a TLD. It's targeted mainly towards enterprises. So yeah,
Guys, did you
create
know
a new.
about this cool new TLD? Tell us in the comment section down below.
There's also, like, I can show you guys. There's doc.new. That's for Google Docs, and then there's a bunch of different shortcuts. You can look it up. But okay, so new spreadsheet. You can paste in Command V or Control V, and then here are the domains that you saved earlier. So that's really cool, and you can delete all of them if you want. Boom, this goes away. So yeah, that's basically it. And let me see what else. You can join a newsletter. Yeah, there's nothing much else to talk about. So I'm gonna stop sharing and go back to the screen.
Yep.
Okay, I'm
So,
back.
so that was one word domains in a nutshell, guys. It lets you find those amazing one word domains in any TLD that you select. And we have two plans. In the first plan where you can have 5 TLDs, and the next plan where you have all you can eat, that's unlimited TLDs. I like the naming of the plans when I first saw it and when I was first testing it today.
Yeah,
So
I actually missed out on something. Can I
sure,
go back
sure,
to sharing? Okay, perfect.
absolutely.
Just really quickly. Um, Share screen again. Okay, let's do this. So I forgot to tell you guys earlier, but there's the .com TLD page, and here there's not too many one-word domains, so that's why I combined them with two-word combinations that sounds really brandable. And these are the combinations. There's also this really cool category called the Google Search Trends. And here, these are the domains that what I'm doing here is essentially I wrote a script that goes on Google Trends and scrapes the site every single day. And it comes up with the domains that are the words, the trends that are popular for a given day. So sometimes it's really random, honestly, but sometimes there might be good names that you might think of buying because if you're thinking of investing for the long, like for people to buy it off you, this could be a good way to find, trends that might become a long-term trend. So these two categories are for this. Twitter trends is also another thing. You can look at Twitter trends. Sometimes they don't have good domains, but sometimes they do, where you can buy the name, and then maybe someone will buy it off you. So these are the things that I just wanted to highlight really quickly. There are also like fintech, where it's more like fintech related names. I'm planning to add more of these in the future. So, and I'll talk about this later in the roadmap section. But yeah, that's a quick thing I wanted to point out.
Yep. So I hope people can hear my sound. Apologies because my laptop's crashed and I'm doing this live from a different thing. So let me type it out. Luckily, we have a typing section in StreamYard. So any questions do you have, guys? You can always leave them in the comment section.
Can you guys hear me though?
Yes, your voice is clear actually.
Okay, but I can hear you well. So that's weird. I don't know what's going on. Your voice is
No,
clear.
I actually, when I'm watching this from my phone, I actually can't hear it myself clear. I'm not sure why.
Oh wow,
So,
that's interesting. Okay.
yep.
Yeah, I could
So,
repeat what you say, and then
so
I
yeah,
we can.
Steven, just tell them that I'm coming live from a different system, and my
Yep.
laptop has crashed. So if there are any questions regarding the lifetime deal, just you can comment
Okay.
down.
So basically, Minak is joining from a different system. His laptop just crashed, and he wants you guys to, I would love for you guys to ask me any questions as well, if you have any regarding the lifetime deals or the features on the site. Feel free to just write them in the comments. I'll pick them up and answer them. The question that was asked earlier, how to sell one-word domains at a good price, is a good question. And if you guys have any questions like that, just feel free to ask. Don't be shy. Yeah. So okay.
And it reminds me of one of my friends who caught a trend. It was basically the trend of pod taxi,
Mhm.
and he actually owned the domain name podtaxi.com, and
Wow.
he sold it for I'm not sure how many millions. And
Wow, that's
wow,
crazy. That's amazing.
yes,
Yeah, that's how you are able to catch these trends, which is by looking at what's popular on Twitter or Google search, and just capitalizing on them early on. It's a lot of like, yeah, you're taking a bet on these, but if it pays off, it pays off well.
true, true. So especially the Google Trends is such a powerful filter in itself,
Mhm.
guys.
Definitely.
That's the filter. I don't think I've never seen such filter in any of the domain name tools out there, up at least until now. And guys,
Mhm.
that's why one word domains exceeds in this. And currently, it's on a lifetime deal, which makes it a no-brainer. It's fast, it's quick. I've been testing it out since morning, and you can get it on a lifetime deal.
Awesome. No questions so far, so
So
uh,
yeah.
yeah, we can move
So,
on.
Steven, if you're in the group, we'll tag you in the questions. We'll
Sure.
also be posting the group videos, etc. And
Okay.
I'll personally be sharing some of the amazing domain names which I find periodically because I got a account for myself,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be amazing. Can't wait to
Awesome.
share some amazing domain names with you guys. Whoever gets to watch the word post first will get to steal all the domain names. It's fun.
Yep.
So yes,
It's gonna be a bloodbath, but we'll see. Awesome.
yep. So that's it with today's webinar of one word domains, guys. This is the launch webinar, and many people have joined in right now. There are about 7 people streaming
Mhm.
in from different platforms altogether. So if you have any more questions, guys, you can always reach out to us to Team Pitch Ground. We have Steven also, who will be tagged in any question that we post in the group. You can reach out to the support, and we're always here to help you
Mhm.
out in
Are
if
we?
you.
Sorry, real quick. Will we talk about the roadmap in today's webinar, or we will leave that for our next section?
So, why don't you quickly reveal two of the most important features that are covered? That's a
Yeah,
very good one.
so I don't want to bring that up because I sort of prepared for it. Just want to just touch on that a little bit. So obviously I'm planning to add more TLDs to the site. TLDs like .at, .it, .ly, some of the more popular ones. Trying to look for ways to do that because those are not available on GoDaddy or Namecheap. So I definitely need to look into getting the right API or the right writing the right scripts to find those names. So that's why it's been delayed, but I'm planning to do that very soon. And also adding more word categories to the site. So for example, positive terms, adjectives, so more categories for those. And the next really exciting thing is I'm planning to create a name. I actually started working on it, but it's essentially an NLP powered, so it's natural language processing, as well as machine learning powered name generator. So again, I'm going back to name generation, but I think that is that has the most potential because there's just unlimited possibilities with that. But the difference, like what makes this name generator different from other generators out there, is this gives you hyper personalized recommendations based on your input. So it's not going to be like oh, you put in data and then click generate and it gives you a bunch of random names. What it does is it will try and understand you as a person, understand your personality, what you're trying to build. So for example, I one of my customers was is a hunter. So the names he prefers are names like antler.io or like, all this like wild animal names or like hunting equipment names. So that's a very huge factor when it comes to naming, I feel. So yeah, that's gonna be a very, very unique feature on Warmer Domains. It's definitely gonna be a premium feature. So if you're subscribed to the lifetime deal, it's a good thing for you. Um, and that's only gonna be for the Plan B, so the all you can eat feature. Um, Also, there's going to be API access. I'm planning to sort of write that out in the near future, where you can basically just if you know how to code, you can just use the API, download a bunch of names into your spreadsheet, and that is also a premium feature. Obviously, I'm not gonna let everyone download it; that'd be too easy. So that's another thing. And then there's also the aftermarket. I'm planning to add more aftermarket places, not just GoDaddy, but like Cedo or like other marketplaces that have good names, and I'm gonna add that to there. So those are a few breakdown of a few updates that I've lined up for more domains. So if you have any questions about those, also let me know. But I'm really excited about those.
Awesome, awesome. And guys, right now it's on an early bird discount. That's a massive $50 discount on the all you can eat plan. And we have a $10 discount on the basic plan. So, guys, you do not want to miss out on this. I'll be posting daily updates in the group also. So, do keep checking them out. And we are sure that one word domains will help you find the right domain. And when you flip the right domain, guys, the investment is just nothing. So
Definitely.
yes, because I can share you the domain name, etc. Flipped a $10 domain name for what, 300 $200,
Wow.
and it was very
That's
easy.
That's definitely a break even on the price you're paying for the plans. Plus, you'll be able to find good domains for if you're actually gonna build a project eventually. That'll be a really good source for you, inspiration for you to find good names for your start. Because naming is like I might be too much of a perfectionist here, but it does play a role in determining where your brand equity is, how do you stand against your competitors. uh, if a startup doesn't have a good name and its competitors there us, it really loses out on brand value. So that's something that is key as well. One advice I have is what you can do if you can't afford like a one word.com is you can go for the, like, I don't know, a .so or .io in the beginning, and then eventually buy the .com. There's also a trend of people using prefixes like get. So, if, for example, one of my friends is building a tool called Waitlist, and she's gonna buy waitlist.com, so she bought get waitlist. So it's like that's what people are doing. Like I think Pocket, the famous link saving tool out there, they have like millions of users. They are still using the getpocket.com domain name instead of pocket.com because I don't know what happened to pocket.com. It might be too expensive or the owner died or something. I don't know what's going on there, but they don't own it. So there are these really creative ways of finding available names. I actually have get prefixed .com domain names as a different category on our domains. It's part of the premium plan, obviously. So there's get and then there's use. So these two are the more popular ones. That's why I decided to include them. So if you're interested, definitely check those out.
And guys, dot coms especially are getting scarce, as like it's so hard to find a proper dot com domain name. People are just buying it all the time, either for investment or for their new app, etc. So you gotta get on the train soon and get
Yep,
one for yourself, because this is like the real estate of the internet. And grab one for yourself. Yes, absolutely. WLAs are the real estate for the internet, and
100%.
you should definitely grab one of your real estate. You can own that piece of land, the premium piece of land at a premium price. I mean, at a premium price or at the normal price. You can just check it out in the section. But yeah,
Yep,
with one word
definitely.
domains.
It's really cool. It's like it's a very sometimes they call it a nerdy thing to own domains, but they can sell for a lot of money, like if you buy the right ones. And it's asset class that appreciates over time, so you don't have to worry about inflation. I mean, it appreciates faster than inflation, which is great. Instead of putting your money just in the bank, you can invest, considering investing in domain names. But as always, like as all asset class, you should diversify. So don't put all your money into domain names. Try and diversify to different asset classes.
Awesome. With that, we come to the end of this webinar. Thank you so much for watching it, Pitch Grounders. What you just watched is the launch event of One Word Domains. And if you have joined it in the middle, like, we were in the middle or you didn't understand anything, the replay would always be there on Pitch Ground's Facebook group, Facebook page, YouTube, etc. And you can always go back and watch the demo. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I'm signing out. That's Minant, and that's Steven. And looking forward to see you in our upcoming webinars of One Word Domains. See ya,
Yes.
guys. Have a great
Thank you
evening.
so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.